Fifth grade, thanks for joining me again. We're on lesson 97 of grammar. You need your grammar book. You need something to write with. You need to have read the whole lesson and looked at the lesson outline on Jupyter. We're getting started on page 522. Our vocabulary today is very important. These are words you should know. Our first word is plagiarize. To plagiarize is to take someone else's work or ideas and call them your own. For example, we must not plagiarize when we write our reports. Our second word is plagiarism. Plagiarism is idea theft. It is using someone else's work or ideas as if they were your own. Plagiarism is against the law. It is also against the honor code of our school. So it's very important that we know what these words mean and that we don't do it. So we're going to continue talking about the hyphen today, and we're going to talk about compound adjectives. There are a great deal of compound adjectives, so there's a lot of information to get through here. Just as we combine words to form compound nouns, we can combine words to form compound adjectives. A compound adjective is a group of words that works as a unit to modify a noun in order to express a single thought. It is not a list of adjectives, each modifying a noun in its own way. So they give you a couple of examples of a compound adjective versus two adjectives or three adjectives. For example, soundproof room. Soundproof is a compound adjective. It was two independent words put together to make a new word used as an adjective. Neat, clean room are two separate adjectives that are each describing the room in their own way. Okay? As shown above, compound adjectives can be spelled as one word, left as separate words, or hyphenated, the same way that we have with compound nouns. How they appear is sometimes a matter of rule, but it is often a matter of custom or style. The following guidelines will help you form many compound adjectives confidently. So one of the main ways we use hyphens with compound adjectives is for clarity. Clarity means being clear. Our goal is to make our meaning as clear as possible to the reader. When we use hyphens to join two or more words, it helps the reader understand that the words are to be read as a single unit. This prevents confusion. Consider this sentence. The tailor-made jackets for boys are stunning. The reader, seeing a subject, tailor, a verb, made, and a direct object, jackets, is likely to misread the sentence. So we hyphenate the compound adjective for greater clarity. The tailor-made jackets for boys are stunning. So the hyphen connects tailor and made into a compound adjective, and then we can clearly see that the subject of the sentence is jackets, and the predicate is are. Okay. Another way we use hyphens is for borrowed phrases and clauses. One of the ways we modify nouns is by borrowing descriptive phrases and clauses and using them as compound adjectives. Hyphens help join words that work as a unit to modify a noun. One instance is prepositional phrases. When we use a prepositional phrase to modify a noun, it is functioning as a compound adjective. If it comes before the noun, it should be hyphenated. So, if you are using a prepositional phrase as a compound adjective, and in your sentence, it's written before the noun that it's modifying, you hyphenate it. If it comes after the noun it's modifying, you don't. Another way is words out of order. When we borrow a descriptive phrase or clause and place it before a noun, we often eliminate or rearrange some of the words. To help them express a single thought, words that are out of their normal order can be held together by hyphens. So we have a couple of examples. He wore grass-stained pants. Grass-stained is hyphenated. Another way we could write this is his pants were stained with grass. So the prepositional phrase that was after is now been moved to be in front of the noun pants, right? And in order to, and we take out with, and we rearrange the words, and that's why we hyphenate it. Now, there is an exception to this. We do not use a hyphen in a compound adjective that begins with an adverb ending in ly. So you have a couple examples. A nicely swept porch. Nicely swept is a compound adjective. It's functioning as a unit, but because the adverb ends in ly, we don't put a hyphen. A securely fastened gate. Securely fastened is functioning as a compound adjective, but because securely, the adverb ends in ly, we don't put a hyphen. Okay? Now, number and unit of measure. This is another instance where we use a hyphen. Remember, numbers are adjectives. We use a hyphen when joining a number to a unit of measure to form a compound adjective. 48-foot cable, 10-mile run, 30-year loan. Okay, all of those are hyphenated. We do not use a hyphen when the number alone modifies the noun. So when the number alone is functioning as a singular adjective, not as a compound adjective with a unit, we do not hyphenate it. So 48 feet, 10 miles, 30 years, those are just measurements. They're not measurements that are adjectives. I hope you understand that. I can raise my eyebrows at you, but you can't raise your eyebrows back at me, so, you know. We use hyphens when we write out fractions. We use a hyphen in a fraction that functions as an adjective. Terry was elected by 2/3 majority, so 2/3 is hyphenated. If the numerator or the denominator of a fraction is already hyphenated, we do not use a hyphen. So remember, when we write out in words numbers 21 through 99, we have to hyphenate those words. And if either your numerator or your denominator is already hyphenated because of that, you don't then hyphenate again the F fraction that you've written out in your sentence. All right, now we are moving on to page 424. So on page 424, we have dictionary clues. Remember, dictionaries cannot contain all the compound words we can create. If you are faced with an unfamiliar compound, you can search the dictionary for similar compounds and use them as clues. That's a good idea. Other uses for our hyphens, aside from compound adjectives, which we've been talking about. We use hyphens to avoid confusion or awkward spelling and to join unusual elements. So, with prefixes and suffixes, if you add a prefix or suffix to a word and the resulting word is misleading or awkward, use a hyphen for clarity. So, one of these is, will you cover the chair with new fabric? So, not recover. Recover, the prefix re added to the word cover, is a word on its own, recover, but it means to get back again. Recover means to cover again. So it's asking, will you cover again the chair with new fabric? Not, will you get the chair back with new fabric? So that's why we use the hyphen in order for clarity. We also use a hyphen to join a prefix to any proper noun. So if you're adding a prefix to a proper noun, then you need to use a hyphen. The other examples are pro-American, mid-July, post-World War II. Okay? All of those are proper nouns. American, July, World War II. We're adding a prefix in order to usually give a relationship of time, and we need to use a hyphen. Now, hyphens are used to combine unusual elements into single expressions. When a letter or group of letters modifies a word in a compound noun or adjective, a hyphen is often used. So they've got some examples: A-frame, L-shaped, PG-rated, U-turn, and the most familiar you will be with, T-shirt. So T-shirt is hyphenated because the letter T is being combined with the word shirt in order to create a compound adjective. Okay? We also use a hyphen to join numbers and expressions such as the following. The score at halftime was 27-43. You have a 50-50 chance of winning. So those examples are sports scores and probabilities. We use hyphens when we're writing those out. So those are some of our other uses for the hyphen. It's a lot. You're going to have to go over this maybe a couple times, but now you have this great video and you can just watch it again while you're going through it with me in your book. So let's look at our practice very quickly. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So we're going to see if we need to hyphenate anything in our sentences. Sentence A, they built an A-frame cabin. So we want to hyphenate A-frame. We want to put a hyphen between A and frame to combine those unusual elements into one word. Sentence B, we could see a rapidly approaching storm. Okay. We do not want to put any hyphens into this sentence. Rapidly approaching is functioning as a compound adjective. It is modifying as a unit the word storm. The storm is rapidly approaching. But because that compound adjective has rapidly, the adverb that ends in ly, as the first word, we're not going to hyphenate it. Sentence C, let's recover the chair with green velvet. So we went over this with the other example. We want to hyphenate recover, R-E-C-O-V-E-R. We want to say that we are going to cover again the chair with green velvet, not that we are going to get the chair back from where we have lost it with green velvet. Sentence D, he drank an 8-ounce glass of water. Okay, so we want to put a hyphen between 8 and ounce. We want to unite 8 ounce into a compound adjective because it is a number with a measurement. Sorry, it's a number with a unit of measurement, and they are together united as one compound adjective to modify glass. There we go. I was trying to figure out if it was water or glass, but it's glass. Sentence E, mud-coated shoes sat on the porch. Okay, we want to hyphenate mud-coated, M-U-D hyphen C-O-A-T-E-D. We want to unite those into a compound adjective. Mud-coated is modifying shoes. All right, so those are some other uses for hyphens. I hope this has been helpful, and good luck with your lesson. I will see you guys here for more grammar later on. Bye, guys.